Good evening, fellow vapors. This is Cass, back at you with another juice review. Today we're going to be looking at the new range from Nova Vapes. This one is called the Rose and Ivy range. Now I'm going to split this video into two parts. There are 5 flavours in the range, and I'm going to be looking at 3 of them now and 2 of them later on. So let's get straight down into it. Have a look at the first juice from the Rose and Ivy range by Nova Vapes. The first one I'm going to be looking at is their Bakewell Slice. So have a look at that there. Now, as you can see, it's got this sort of vintage looking, old school labelling going on there. They all come in 60ml short fills. The description for the Rose and Ivy and Bakewell Slice is: the perfect British dessert. Bakewell Slice is a well-balanced blend of sweet cherry, raspberry and almond cake with a dollop of sweet icing to top it all off. This is one of our sweeter flavours, perfect for when you want to treat yourself. So let's have a go. I've dripped it onto my goon and I've got the drag here, the Voopoo drag. Let's just click this thing on and have a vape, see how it tastes, and then we'll move quickly on to the next flavour. I'd like to thank Nova Vapes for sending these my way to review these, so let's have a go. This is the Bakewell Slice from the Rose and Ivy range. The first thing you get off that is this sort of sweet, biscuity cakiness, which you'd expect from a Bakewell tart. It's quite rich, it's quite dense, but it's also very sweet. Like they said, this is a sweeter version of one of their juices. So this is the Bakewell Slice, and you get that sort of pastriness with the cakiness, and you do get this sort of creamy icing. Now, the one thing that I'm not completely enamored with is the cherry on top, literally. Now, cherry is a very hard flavour for people to get right, and a lot of people just don't even bother because 90% of the time it comes out tasting just like terps. It's an awful flavour to deal with. These guys have done this fairly well. It's definitely not the worst cherry, and it is adventurous to move into a cherry sort of flavour, simply because it's so hard to do. I think I can name 3 companies that have ever done a cherry and succeeded. I can name a lot more companies that have done a cherry and not succeeded. But because cherry isn't the only flavour in this, it takes away that harsh cherry flavour that a lot of juices don't try and mask, and you're left with the sweet fruitiness of it. That's really quite a bonus on this, because you're enjoying the cakey flavour and the vanilla topping and all of the pastry underneath, and then you get that cherry just on the exhale, and it makes it really fruity and really sweet. So pretty good job. Like I said, cherry is a very hard one to deal with. So that is the Bakewell tart, and what I can see from all of this range covers a sort of a variety of different treats. So, I mean, I'll quickly go through them. We've got Victorian Sweet Chew, we've got the Tea Time Treat, Cornflake Crunch, and Mystic Mint Ice Cream. So they're all fairly vintagey sounding flavours, but they cover quite a broad range of flavours. So let's quickly move on to the next one. That was the Bakewell Slice, so nice and fruity and nice and cakey, and the cherry is done fairly well, even though it's not necessarily my favourite part of the flavour. So the next one we're going to be doing, the Victorian Sweet Chew. There we go. So the Victorian Sweet Chew. Right, so Victorian Sweet Chew's description on their website is: Victorian Sweet Chew is strikingly similar to British fruit chews with a creamy and tropical sweet bite. If you love your British chewy sweets, this is the one for you. Alright, so this is Victorian Sweet Chew. Let's have a go. Alright, now I know they're trying to avoid brand names, but this is Chewits. I don't even care what anyone says. This is Chewits. It's really, really fruity. You get that sort of, if you could ever have a texture as part of your flavour, they've got that with this one. The Victorian Sweet Chew tastes like you're chewing it in your mouth. Not in a horrible way, but you're getting that chewy flavour, you're getting that sweet flavour, and then as it chews down, you get that sort of fruity juice flavour. There's a hint of the tropical in there, but not overpowering, so I wouldn't call this necessarily a tropical vape. It's just a sort of mixed fruity vape. It's very vintage flavoured, and I think that's kind of what they're going for with this. But the fruits are really nice, and because of this, and it's not being overly sweet, it's quite easily an all-day vape. And now I've got a 60ml bottle. If I did all-day vape that would probably last me about 2 days, if that. And it's really fruity. One thing it's worth mentioning at this point is that this is a lot of juice. Nova Vapes' thing is that they don't like people paying a lot of money for it, which sounds mad, but you can pick up this 60ml bottle as a short fill. It'll be a 0 milligrams, obviously minus your Nick shot. That's £4.50. Over the next couple of videos, I'm going to be doing their Rose and Ivy range, I'm going to be doing their Classics range, and I'm going to be doing their Ice range. You can pick up every single one of those bottles, one of each, for about, let me just double check this, you can pick up the whole lot for £46.99. That is 720ml of juice, which is absolutely insane. 720ml for 46 quid. when a lot of times you can buy 120ml for 30. That's an insane price, so why wouldn't you get it? So yeah, the Victorian Sweet Chew, really impressed with how fruity that is, really impressed with how close it is to Chewits, even though I know they don't want to say it on their website. It's Chewits, and if you like that, you would like this. I think you should go for it. If you are not so fond of the cakey stuff like the Bakewell tart, and you like the fruity stuff, and you don't necessarily like ice stuff, you just want a good fruity vape, go for that. And I don't think, from the taste of it, I don't think it's really going to kill your coils. Most of these, I believe, although I'm sure I'll be corrected if I'm wrong, I think they're an 80-20. If they're not an 80-20, they're a 70-30, but I might be blind, I just can't see it on their website. So let's move on to the third in this video. I'm going to be doing the Tea Time Treat. All right, this is the Tea Time Treat bottle. Tea Time Treat, hey. On their website, it says, love custard cream biscuits? Then this is the one for you. Tea Time Treat is an explosion of flavour with custard, biscuit and creamy notes to delight your palate. Whilst I drip this one, sometimes custards, creams and biscuits can end up in a mirage of bland flavours. I've had cream scones before and it just tasted like cream. I've had vanilla butterscotch ice creams and it just tasted like cream. So let's see if this follows the same suit. Hopefully not, but like I said, sometimes these creamy biscuity flavours need something else to punch through them. So this is the Tea Time Treat. What we've got there is a nice rich biscuit. You've got that sort of cakey, creamy note, and what they've come through is they've punched through with a really strong vanilla flavour, which is really nice. It's nice and strong, it's nice and creamy, and it hasn't come off too bland. Again, it's a risk running with just biscuit, cream, and sort of a vanilla hint, but the cream's quite strong, so you can enjoy that for what it is. The biscuit's quite an undertone on the exhale, and the custard is custard. But again, nice. I wouldn't have said this is an all day, because I think if you did all day, it would become kind of bland. It's one of those flavours that your tongue's going to get used to very, very quickly. However, I think if you just sat down in an evening, had a quick vape on this, I think you find it quite enjoyable. I also think it'd be quite good as something to have in between flavours. Say, have a fruity flavour, then have this, then have a slightly deeper flavour. But on its own, you know, it is a really, it's nice. It's nice. I wouldn't necessarily all day it though, because I think for me, I'd get that sort of vape tongue effect where you just stop tasting it. But to say that, you know, it's a nice creamy vanilla flavour, and on that strength, it works as a flavour. After we've gone through those three, so let's just recap quickly. We've got the Bakewell Slice, which is nice and cakey with that hint of cherry on the end. We've got the Victorian Sweet Chew, which is super, super fruity, tastes exactly like Chewits, and I would probably all day this, simply because it's not overly sweet, but it is nice and fruity, and that tropical hint makes it nice and interesting. Nova Vapes are quite good at doing tropical fruit. Some companies are terrible at it. And then what do we have there? We had the Tea Time Treat, which is a nice biscuity, custardy thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I know people that can vape custards all day long, never get bored of it, and I'm sure there are hundreds of people out there who can do that. I personally find I get quite bored of them quite quickly, but that's not to say, you know, it's a bad juice, it's just I wouldn't be able to vape it all day. I think that probably wraps up the Rose and Ivy Part 1 video. I'm going to be doing the next two flavours in the next video. They are going to be the Cornflake Crunch and Mystic Mint Ice Cream. Now, I've had a smell of that Mystic Mint Ice Cream, and it smells fantastic, so we'll see what that's like. Thank you for watching. My name has been Cass. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you want to see more videos from me, hit the little bell icon for notifications. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.